go. Finding strength through vulnerability. Being vulnerable is strong. Being vulnerable is not being weak. Get up today, Mornings in the Lab. There we go. Yes, sirree. Yo ho ho. Good morning. Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. This is an explicit show. Yes, it is. If you got a job and you're loving it, enjoy it. Lean into it, be vulnerable, and go and win the day.
I'm just saying that with what we're doing here, what you're trying to do, pizza's not part of your future. The crew does what the crew needs to do to turn the airplane into a rocket ship. If the pilot of the plane is having trouble keeping a hold of the joystick because he's got his other hand on a pizza, the crew's going to have to come and take the wheel. When you find someone who's trying to justify their mistake, what else needs to be said? When someone, like, when I make a mistake, you know what I'm going to say? I fucked up. I'm going to do better.
Think about every single one of those little gadgets with a bullet on them, with a missile on them. What you're watching is the future of warfare.
Technology is so fun. There's so many great things that we can do with it, but we're not thinking about the ways in which some people will weaponize that technology to their advantage. Those are conversations we need to have.
The quality of life, quality of your life has to do with the quality of your thoughts.
The strongest person in the room is not the one with all the answers. Nope. It's the one who's willing to say, I don't know. Vulnerability, it shows confidence. It doesn't show weakness. No way, man. It says I'm not perfect. No, but I'm adaptable and I'm open to feedback.
Your security is you. If you've got the skill set, if you've got the mindset, you've got the habits, whether you'll get a really good job or you have success as an entrepreneur, your security is you.
With LinkedIn, there's an awful lot of peer pressure that happens. And it's okay to speak from a position of having made something work or be successful or have an exit and made lots of money. But that's not the reality for most people. Sometimes business is broken and it's just not going to work. And I just think peer pressure is dangerous on here. And I think for people that are struggling, it should be said that a move into employment isn't the worst thing in the world.
If it's so glamorous and you're doing so well, why is it 100 of y'all in my DM trying to convince me that y'all gonna level up my business?
I feel empathy for people.
Yes.
So when I see entrepreneurs struggling and I know they're reading their feed and I know their feed is basically telling them constantly to this, I want to just say, hang on a minute, talk to a few friends, talk to people close to you.
We need to pay attention to who's the messenger. So when you're reading a post from somebody who's either vilifying employment, see who the messenger is, see the messenger putting out, because they're probably trying to sell you something on how to be an entrepreneur.
Vilification for profit is a dangerous path, and it can get into people's heads that are perhaps in a job they enjoy or in a business that's failing and pushing too long.
Results don't come from what you do occasionally. You don't come in the gym 1 week and you did 2 days, now you skip the next week, then the following week you did 5 days. Perfecting your technique matters more than heavy weights, especially my fellas. Get out here with the ego lifting. You look crazy and you're probably going to get hurt. You can't out-train a bad dog. You can't eat bad for a month, run every day, lift every day, and expect to get serious results.
Research shows, Adam, that 70% of leaders believe that vulnerability signals weakness. Yet 76% of employees report higher trust in vulnerable leaders.
What we say and what we think is what we become. So if you are thinking and telling lies and living a lie, then you will never experience the truth in your own life.
Just being brutally honest, it's probably one of the most powerful things that an entrepreneur can have.
Adam, why are we so scared as leaders to be vulnerable, though? And why are we so scared to say, I don't know? A lot of people just don't. It's like somebody asks a question, our first reflective reaction is never to say, I don't know.
Even when I do know, and this is a part of leadership, fatherhood, marriage, really anything in life, you can say, let's figure it out.
What helps me is I realize that somebody who's more successful or somebody who I'm trying to emulate, they went through the same thing I went through, more than likely.
Carrying a quiet confidence can be done in leadership without having to tell everybody what to do. Great times create weak men. And we got a bunch of weak men out there that need to stand up, take leadership of their families, their business, and start making an impact.
A leader is not expected to have all the answers. A leader is expected to do what everybody else won't do to get the answers.
Are men becoming too soft? When we created this show, it was to try to find a balance of what I think has gone where we've maybe become too misogynistic and just maybe too far of hardcore men. I like offering up the alternative side of vulnerability and emotion.
So if you take response and ownership for everything that happens to you, you're in complete control of your life. Confidence comes from doing the small things every day consistently over time. Ego is when you have to tell everybody what you did and how great you are.
Respond. rather than react, and you will have much more control of the happiness in your day.
You need protein to build your body. You need to get in the gym to build your body. But more importantly, you need your emotion in check. But most importantly, gentlemen, you need your mind in check. You build abs in the kitchen, guys. Oh, I thought I'd go to the gym to build abs. I gotta go to the kitchen to build abs.
You by yourself are just enough. Your story is really just about being real, not about grabbing attention. People are gonna judge you no matter what. Whether you stay quiet, whether you put yourself out there, someone is always going to have an opinion. And that opinion doesn't fucking matter. You have something to say and people need to hear it. And yes, it really is that simple.
I make my life out of doing shit that most people won't do. People can talk smack, and this tells me I'm on the right track.
This show is about achieving the greatest possibilities of your life.
I'm not going to make excuses of any nature to get from point A to point B, because I know that there's always a way. Just think that you feel a little weird the first time you do anything.
Whoever it is you emulate or want to be like, they felt that way in the gym too. They had that awkward day where they struggled or they were nervous.
Don't look at this as some ultra detailed, specific venture that if you don't do it just right, it's not going to work. If you're going from wanting to get in there to getting in there, this stuff we're talking about is going to make a massive difference for you. You don't have to go to the gym to be active. Go for a walk. Shit, man. Go outside. If it's piss pouring rain, I get it. Go to the gym. But be active. Get over that first step. Get in the gym. Use some very simple methodologies to get moving. And once you get moving, now you're in the game. And when you're in the game, you're going to get better. And as you get better, you're going to reach your goals. Don't start tomorrow. Start today. Being comfortable is exactly why you're in this predicament to start. Keeping things simple, keeping things, I guess you'd say, in vision to where you're not losing perspectives is such an important, for me, is such an important part of my formula for success in all areas of my life. Today was pretty chock full of helpful shit.
Sometimes you gotta get it done, and that's okay. It doesn't mean you're not an entrepreneur. Be authentically you. Do you, John?
I don't know how to do it any other way, man.
Get 1% better every single day. Because yesterday, Tina, I was like, okay, I got to get these 6 things done for the show today. And then I thought, fuck, I'm not going to get 6 of them done. I got 1 done. And it worked really well today. If I'm an expert, I also believe that I have the confidence to tell you I don't know. Because if I don't know, I think it adds value to my expertise.
The best salespeople, very little. In fact, they do a lot of asking of questions and they do a lot of listening to see if what they have can be aligned with the challenges or the solutions that their customers have.
When you are an exceptional listener, the trust that human builds in you, they're ready to eat out of your hand.
Tell me something about yourself that I can't find on the internet and nobody else knows. It doesn't take much to show somebody that you're listening. Repeating something back to them that they have said to you makes them trust you a little bit more. Make people know that you're thinking about them, which they love, and give people value, give people resources so that when you're coming to them for something else, you're not asking for the first time. If you can learn a lesson from a mistake that I've made and you don't have to make that mistake yourself, or you can just do it a little bit different than I did, that's my job done.